Warning, the following rant is incredibly scuffed. I wanted to do more videos like this, but they'll be a lot more put together, not like this. Anyway, back to the video. Hey guys, me, the Fierce WC. I know it's a bit different when I normally do, but I just saw this tweet, just feel like I had to respond. So this tweet's from the Quinton Reviews. I think he's a movie reviewer or something, and he made this really stupid tweet about the Last Jedi that I just had to respond to. Now, let me get this out of the way. I honestly don't care if you like this movie. You're fine to like whatever you want. I like what I like. I like the Cat in the Hat movie, and most people think that's an awful movie. I like The Lorax. Most people think it's an awful movie. I like The Grinch, the Jim Carrey one. A lot of people think it's an awful movie. But I personally like that movie. We can both like different things. That is completely fine. However, that doesn't mean legitimate criticisms of the movie are not wrong. This is a legitimate criticism. The Harper scene is a legitimate criticism of the movie because that scene fundamentally breaks the universe of Star Wars and makes everything about the movies no longer make any sense. So the tweet is, imagine wondering for half a decade why characters in Star Wars don't commonly destroy trillion-dollar spaceships for suicide runs. It's like saying, why does the U.S. Navy ram warships and ram enemy warships? Now, this tweet is stupid for a whole bunch of reasons. The first one I'm going to get into is that the U.S. Navy did ram warships. In fact, navies used to ram warships back in when they still used cannons and boats. We just stopped doing it because modern cannons and modern systems are a lot more effective, and we could normally destroy ship before it ever comes into distance for ramming to come into play. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense. 2. A $1 trillion spaceship. This is a Star Wars galaxy. $1 trillion is literally nothing. Like, what's the current GT? How much money is currently in the world? This is not scripted in any way, as you see. For about $37 trillion worth of money in various forms. But however, account for all money if you track costs about 85 trillion. This is Star Wars galaxy. There are probably like billions of planets, and probably millions of them are habitable. Like how much planets are in the Milky Way? If you know about this, about sea level, there's about 400 billion planets. Imagine, just a fraction of those planets just 1% of those planets are habitable, which are probably a lot more of them are habitable due to Star Wars' weird logic. And that means there is an incalculable amount of money in the Star Wars galaxy. I don't think people realize that just the sheer difference of how a galactic economy would work. It is unimaginably large. I mean, they lost a Death Star, and that would probably bankrupt most a galaxy on Earth, with our Earth governments. That would be nothing to the Star Wars galaxy. Trying to use our world economies on Star Wars does not work. We're talking about an empire that has 25,000 Imperial Star Destroyers, which is equivalent to a super aircraft carriers. It's nothing. It's literally nothing to them. It's a tax write-off. They could lose hundreds of these warships like the Republic did during the Clone Wars and still come and richer for it. It's nothing, I'm telling you. And suicide runs. The problem is that hyperdrive has been around Star Wars for tens of thousands of years. That means they had tens of thousands of years to figure out how to weaponize it. It's not a new technology. It's nothing new. If they wanted to create hyperdrive missiles, specifically destroy ships to render all shields inept and no longer thin, they could do so. It would probably not take very long when you have thousands of years and thousands of lifetimes. And it's not like it would take hundreds of people to figure out. There are beings in Star Wars who live for hundreds of years, like Yoda lived for 900 years. Wookiees live for hundreds of years. They could figure this out if they wanted to. It's it's 1 in a million. It's only 1 in a million until you figure out how to do it consistently. Like, consider how long it took for us to figure out how nuclear bombs worked after we discovered nuclear energy. It only took like a couple decades. And after we figured out how to do it once, we figured out how to more reliably do it only a couple years. Once we figure out how to do something once, each subsequent time will take less and less and less to do. So the Star Wars Galaxy could figure out how to do this out fairly reliably. See this one scene fundamentally breaks the universe. So Death Star is no this big scary device. If one hypersonic missile could straight through its core can instantly destroy it. So saying this, why does it do that? It's not a point to counter. Because as I said, it breaks the universe. Not only that, is that her death was completely wasted. Why does she have to physically be there? She could just ask any one of the numerous robots that would have been on ships to do it. To sacrifice a commander when you're already short a general, when you're already short of manpower, is one of the most stupid things you could have possibly done. Having a robot, a droid like R2 unit do it would have been infinitely better. And there, as shown in the one episode of the Clone Wars, they can pilot ships. They can run hyperdrives. There's no need for a human to do this. It can be completely 100% automated. It doesn't make any sense. It breaks the universe. Stop defending it. It's something that fundamentally breaks the universe. It should not be in your movie. There's a concept in movies where you try. Sorry if I'm rambling. There's no script to this, obviously you can tell. But think about it this way. When coming up with stories the largest Star Wars, there's always going to be some plot inconsistencies. There's always going to be some lore breaks. No matter what you try to do, there's no way every individual person who ever worked on Universe expansive Star Wars can know every single fact, every single detail, every single part of the lore. That's why there's dedicated people whose job is to know the lore. But there's lore keepers specifically for this purpose. Now, normally you can kind of operate with a little bit of freeway. You can kind of break the lore, like 10-minute break, but never should you full on break the lore in half. And this scene is one of the scenes that full on breaks the lore in half. The scene is stupid. Don't try to defend it. You can like the movie, but you don't have to defend this scene. Anyway, I've said my piece. I'm the Freedom MC, and I'll see you next time.